Hey guys, Philip Schadler here, and I just returned from the EXPCON 2022 in Las Vegas, the EXP Realty conference, which was amazing. Last year was great, this year was even more amazing, more realtors, made some great connections, learned a ton of stuff. But one of the most amazing surprises, most impressive things that I experienced there, which was totally unexpected, was by a motivational speaker by the name of Nick Santonastasso. What this man has achieved in his life is mind-boggling to me. And I would say pretty much right afterwards, it changed my thinking about life instantly. I can't really put it in words, so have a listen and have a look for yourself and see what you think.
How many of you know you're an energetic being? Just a show of hands. Right? You're an How many of you know you're an energetic being? Now what the law of energy also states is that high energy equals high income. High energy equals high level opportunities. A low level or low energy person will not attract high level opportunities. True or false? True. A low energy person won't attract high level opportunities, high level conversations, and high level networks. So I'm trying to be a person of high energy so I can have high impact and high income. If you're up for that, say yes? Yes. All right. So those are the few things that I want you to note. Now, if I continue to teach up here without letting you know why I'm so beautiful and why I have no legs or an arm, you won't retain anything because you'll be so focused on my body. So let me tell you what happened. Is that okay? Yes. Good. So, in 1996, my parents went in for a late ultrasound. They sat them down, they pulled the baby up on the screen, and suddenly the doctor started freaking out. And they said, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And they said, "Well, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like your baby's limbs are being developed. Looks like he's missing his arms, he's missing his legs, and his face is messed up." Did they lie? They lied. Experts lie sometimes, it's all right. Right? They were the experts, they lied. I'm beautiful, all right? But yeah, you can clap for beautiful, you can clap for that. And they looked at my parents and said, "Mr. and Mrs. Santonastasso, your baby boy has about a 30% chance to live." How many of you are parents in here? Yeah. Was like, and so they said, "Your baby boy has about a 30% chance to live." And in that moment, my parents made a decision. Someone say decision. Decision. My parents made a decision. You see, oftentimes, we think changing our life is this big, drastic thing, when in reality, life changes when you decide it changes. True or false? True. When you decide. Who's up for making some decisions here? Say aye. Aye. Awesome. And so in that moment, they made a specific decision. And the decision that they made was that they were going to focus on the 30% chance of me living versus the 70% chance of me dying. The reason being, noted, what I focus on, I get more of. What I focus on, I get more of. What I focus on expands. Most people have problems in their life because all they do is focus on problems. What I focus on expands. What I focus on, I get more of. But most importantly, I had to become a master of focus because this is the most important part. Is what I focus on, I feel. Note it. What I focus on, I feel. And what I feel is my life. And if what I feel is my life, that would also mean that the quality of my life actually comes down to the quality of the emotions I feel on a day-to-day basis. How many of you know people with a lot of money who are still pissed off and angry? Point to them. No, point no, I'm just kidding, right? And then how many of you have ever went to Mexico or somewhere, a third world country, and saw a kid kicking the can and he was happier than you? Who's really rich? It's the kid who's experiencing the emotions that he wants to feel on a day-to-day basis, which, by the way, I want you to get the money. Who likes money in here? Anybody? Because if you want to make an impact, you need money. True or false? True. If you want to cut a check for someone who's in your family that has cancer, who's going to do it? We are. True or false? True. You want to give back to an organization? Who's going to do it? We are. True. So we need some money, right? So that's what I'm talking about with this whole money thing. So the quality of your life comes down to the quality of the emotions that you feel on a day-to-day basis. And in order to experience specific emotions, you have to master the power of focus. Now, I'm going to share real quickly, before I go into this exercise, two really big defining moments that changed the trajectory of my life, that put me on this path to mastering psychology and serving others. The first one was a moment in 2017. I knew a kid who moved from New Jersey. Anyone from Jersey? That's amazing. How you doing? And I knew a kid who moved from Jersey to Florida to become a bodybuilder. And he wanted to become a bodybuilder, and one of his mutual friends said, hey man, come to this mastermind. It's like 8 people, you never know who you meet. You never know what will happen. And so this kid, he goes to the mastermind, and everybody's sharing their story. They're like entrepreneurs and stuff. They got businesses. And this kid feels really uncomfortable being in the room. And I said, hey, what's your story? He goes, I got a long story. You got a long time. And he starts to share his story. And at the end of that story, this random Russian guy on the couch that he's never seen before looks him in his eyes and says, you're going to be on stage with Tony Robbins one day. The kid said, who's Tony Robbins? He had no idea who Tony was. He had no idea what business was. He had no idea what speaking was. And that kid said, I will work for you for free. And if you like the work we do, maybe one day we'll start a company together. 5 years later, 2 7-figure companies and touring with the big man, Tony Robbins. That kid was me. And I say that because I wouldn't be on the stage if I never got in the room. Someone say, get in the room. Someone say, get in the room. I would never be this far in life if I've never gotten in the room and learned from people who have the life and the results that I want. And sometimes it takes a different person from a different walk of life to see a gift in you that you didn't see in yourself. True or false? How many of you have ever had a mentor, a coach, or someone, a friend that saw something that you were really good at and you never saw it? Just show of hands, right? Because you got in the room. Now they were talking about identity. I heard it backstage. Now in order to become the next level, you have to upgrade your identity. And one of the greatest ways that you can upgrade your identity is proximity. I want you to notice. Is getting in rooms with people who are richer and smarter than you are. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to get rich slow, I'm trying to get rich fast. Who's with me? Anyone? So I'm trying to condense speed. Success rewards speed. Someone say speed. Someone say speed. I'm trying to go fast. And so I'm always willing to cut a check or get in a room with people who are way further ahead than me so they can condense time. That was the first moment. The second moment was about a little over 2 years ago. It was my dad's birthday. Now my dad is the type of dad who lets me know it's his birthday before I get the call. Like he called me, he's like, it's my birthday. I'm like, Dad, I'm in bed, I didn't even wake up yet. I was getting there. And I said, how are you? You're getting old, how's everything doing? I said, how's the family? They're great, your sisters are doing great, your brother Michael, he's doing amazing. I said, awesome, is there anything I can do for you? No, just keep me in the loop. I said, awesome, Dad, if you need anything, just call me. It's your special day, go enjoy it. And I hung the phone up. And about 2 hours later, I get a FaceTime from my dad. And I picked the phone up. Nick, he's gone, he's dead. Dad, what do you mean he's gone? Who are we talking about? Your brother. Me and your mother are at the crime scene. Your brother OD'd. He's at my feet. He's dead. They robbed him. He's not coming back this time, buddy. And he said, I don't have the strength to tell your sisters. Can you tell them for me? Whew. Yes, sir. Click. Picked up the phone. Called my older sisters and said, hey, Mike's no longer here. And Dad wanted me to relay the message because he's not in a good spot right now. And I share that because I have trained my brain to ask specific questions. You see, your brain is a problem-solving mechanism, and it's always going to give you an answer to the questions that you ask it. The truth is, most of us going around asking terrible questions. And so I would like to give you a few questions that changed my life, and if you can anchor these questions, you will always find the gift in every situation. If that's okay, say yes? Yes. The first question that I asked myself when I hung up after I found out that my brother overdosed, he was dead, he was no longer coming back. The first question that I trained my brain to ask in that moment was, who am I going to become because I'm going through this? Note it. Who am I going to become because I'm going through this? Who do I get to become because I'm going through this? The second question that I ask is always, what's the gift? Nick, find the gift. What's the learnings? What's the lessons? What can you pull from this? Because would you agree, what's wrong is always available. But what's right is always available as well. I want you to write this down. The gift is there if I want the gift. The gift is also there if I'm ready for the gift. You may not be ready for the gift yet. And so those are the two questions that I ask myself. Who am I going to become, and what is the gift or what is the learning that I'm going to get from this experience? The first thing that I learned was that, wow, maybe I could be a man and step up when my dad couldn't. You see, as a man with no legs and an arm, there's a lot of times where I don't feel like a man. I can't pick my girlfriend up and carry her around. We can't do long walks on the beach or long runs on the beach. Maybe these are limiting beliefs. I need to coach myself. But a lot of times I don't feel like a man. And although my brother passed, it gave me a great gift because I was able to step up and be a man when my dad couldn't. And that was a great gift that I got. The second thing, the second learning, the second gift that I got from that moment, that my brother's suffering was over. His battle was over. Is anyone in this room affiliated or know someone that struggles with addiction? Put them high and look around the room. This is your family we're talking about. Look at the room. It's all of us, most of us. Everybody knows someone. And so my brother's struggle was over. And in that moment I decided, someone say decision. Decision. I made a decision that I will master psychology or pursue mastering psychology so no one has to suffer like my brother did. That's my purpose. That's why I'm here. Those are two defining moments. Thank you. Who is this guy? There's something that you're putting, how many of you know there's something you're putting off that you haven't done because you're afraid? Show of hands. This is your family we're talking about. What's that thing you've been putting off? Note it. What's that thing that you need to start pursuing? Maybe you need to start getting on Instagram Live. You need to start recruiting more. You need to get your face out there. You're scared to go on Facebook because you don't get as many likes. You know who you are. What's that thing that you've been pushing off and holding off? That's the thing that you need to pursue. You see, everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. You gotta lean into it. So let's dive into this whole focus pattern. There are 3 focus patterns that screw most humans and entrepreneurs up. And remember, pattern recognition. If I can make you aware of a pattern, you can then strip power away from it. But if you're not aware of the pattern, you can't see it. And by the way, just today, I'm just Baby Yoda. And what I mean by that is I'm not here to give you answers. Who the hell am I? But what I've learned about great leaders is they ask great questions to lead their people to their own answers. So is it okay if I ask you some questions? Show of hands. Is that all right? Yes. Is that all right? Yes. So let's go through these focus patterns. The first focus pattern that I want you to note is, in my life, the majority of the times, do I focus on the things that I have or the things that I don't have? Take a second. And by the way, this work is for you. Maybe today's the day you stop lying to yourself. Because the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. In my life, the majority of the time, am I focusing on the things that I have or the things that I don't have? I'll give you a couple seconds. And then we'll gauge the room here. Now, by the way, some of your brains go, well, I already know this. 4 most toxic words that you can have in your entrepreneurial career is, I already know this. The very belief that you think you've mastered something is the belief holding you back from your next level. Is that okay to say? The very belief that I think I've mastered psychology, the very belief that I've mastered recruiting, the very belief that I've mastered contracts and investments is the very belief that's holding me back because I stopped being a student of the game. How dare me? In my life, the majority of the times, do I focus on the things that I have or the things that I don't have? How many of you maybe find yourself focusing on the things that you don't have? Lights on, let me see. Put them up. If you got an arm, leverage it. I'll take it. I will gladly take donations of arms and legs. Right? That's okay. Now watch this. When you focus on the things that you don't have, do you feel good or bad? You feel bad. And when you feel bad, do you take more action or less? There's something there. All right? How many of you try to make a conscious effort to focus on the things that you do have? How many of you are like, screw this guy, I'm not raising my hand regardless. I'm coming to find you in my wheelchair after this. Right? Now take a man with no legs of an arm, for example. A man with no legs of an arm, if I woke up every single day and focused on all the things that I didn't have, is my quality of life good or bad? Quick. It's bad. And then I wouldn't serve, then I wouldn't create, then I'd be in this negative state. I'd be handicapped and crippled. Not by my physical body, but by my software. So how many of you in this room can just be intentional and conscious about trying to focus on the things that you have versus the things that you don't have? Show of hands. Make some noise for that one. Oh, here we go. Great. That's a packed house. Came to see me? This is amazing. Second focus pattern. Let's get to work here. Second focus pattern. Second focus pattern. In my life, the majority of the times, do I focus on the things that I can control or the things that I can't control? Note it. In my life, the majority of the times, do I focus on the things that I can control or the things that I can't control? How many of you, watch this. How many of you still get pissed off in traffic? Good luck in business. Write this down. My success is directly correlated to how much chaos I can withstand. And if you let something so minute like traffic get in your way, good luck beating me in business. Because I know how to manage my emotions. True or false? True. So in my life, do I find myself focusing on the things that I can control or the things that I can't control? How many of you tend to find yourself focusing on things that you can't control? That's right? How many of you try to make a conscious act to focus on the things that you can control? Now, how many of you agree that there's a lot of things that we can't control? Yeah. You agree with that one? I didn't ask you to raise your hand that time. I can hear it laughing.
We like it.
Right? But there's a lot of things that you can't control. You can't control the shutdowns. You can't control the way that you had to pivot in your business. You can't control technology and things moving at a rapid speed. There's a lot of things that you can't control. But there are a few things that you can control which are massively important. I want you to note this. I must control my controllables. I must control my what? Controllables. I must control my controllables. So there's a few things that you can control. The first one that you can control, I'm teaching you in this moment, your focus. Can you control your focus? Yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. You can control your focus. So that means if you're in your poopy diaper, it's because you want to be in your poopy diaper. Because you want to stay there. For some of you, it's time to change the diaper. It's time to switch the focus. Anyone up for that? Switch the focus? All right. Talking about diapers. Where did Nick go here today? I told you my creator was going to take over. But you can control your focus. The second thing that you control, which is massively important, is the content that you consume on a day-to-day basis. They were talking about news and the newspapers. What most humans do is they wake up and they immediately look at their phone and see a text message, a phone call, an email that pisses them off, and they expect to have a great day. Anyone? You know who you are, right? Same thing, most humans wake up every single day, look at the phone and see killings, politics, and expect to have a joyful day with rainbows and sunshines and unicorns. Good luck, right? It's designed to keep you in a fearful state. So you can control the content that you consume on a day-to-day basis. Now, one of the OG mentors always said that the mind is a garden. The mind is a garden. So let's play a little farming game. If I plant apples, what am I going to get? What am I going to get?
Apples.
Rotten apples. Okay. If I plant corn, what am I going to get? Corn. If I plant corn, what am I going to get? Corn. If I plant shit, what am I going to get? Shit. Now the creative ones go fertilizer. Those are the innovative ones. I like y'all. But you get what you consume. You become what you consume. True or false? And the third and final thing that you can control is the people that you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis. Is it okay if I speak to you direct? If you hang around people who have unhealthy tendencies, you start to have unhealthy tendencies. If you hang around people who are penny pinching, you start to penny pinch. You hang around people who have toxic relationships, you start to have toxic relationships. And if you hang around people who have low standards, it's only a matter of time before you start lowering your own damn standards. True or false? True. Now, by the way, do not go home big. This guy with no legs but arm, he told me to cut you off! You're out! There's the door! My mind's a garden, babe! Get out! I didn't say to do that. Makes me look bad, right? But you do, they kissed. I love that. Give them a round of applause. You're like, hey, you ain't leaving. You ain't going nowhere. But you do what I call love them from afar. Why do you think your time and your energy are your two most valuable assets? Quick.
Limit.
They're irreplaceable. And if you really believe that your time and your energy were your two most valuable assets, you wouldn't spend it with low standard people. Low level people who don't want to grow and expand. We get some claps for that. So don't cut them off, just love them from afar. Don't give them all your time and your energy, right? Third focus pattern. In my life, where do I find myself focusing on? The past, the present, or the future? By the way, there's no right or wrong answer. This isn't a booby trap. We're just seeing where you're at. In my life, where do I find myself? The past, the present, or the future? Now, I'd be curious, how many of you find yourselves maybe focusing on the past a lot? Put them up high. Now watch this. How many of you love to focus on the future? Put them up high. How many of you try to make a conscious act to focus on the present moment? As you're holding your phone up, staring at me through a screen? I'm just kidding. We'll get there. But would you agree that if you always focus on the future, you may miss what's right in
Front of you.
front of me? Oftentimes we're conditioned to be on to the next win, on to the next deal, on to the next recruiting. True or false? Rather than feeling the win, feeling the emotion of actually winning. And how many of you agree focusing the present moment is one of the most difficult things to do? Show of hands. Everything that I'm teaching you and all these strategies and everything that you're going to learn from this amazing event, you can master it if you understand the 3 parts of the brain. How many parts? 3. How many parts? 3. There's 3 parts of the brain. You have your thinking. Note it. You have your thinking. You have your doing. And you have your being. What's the first one? Being. Second?
Doing.
Third?
Being.
So amazing. I just want you to raise your hand. You ready? If you're ready, say yes.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
We can't afford that. They said, ooh. Come on, put them up. We can't afford that. Rich people are evil. Why are you laughing? They're like, rich people are greedy. They probably screwed someone over for that car. Watch this, ready? Money doesn't grow on trees. Did you know they print it? They printed way too much. In a building, they print it. It does grow on trees, right? Now watch this. Big boys don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Put 2 up for that one. And at a very early age, you believed that money was hard to make. At a very early age, you were told to shut up and be quiet. At a very early age, you were taught or conditioned that vulnerability was weak and authenticity was weak, and that you shouldn't feel your emotions, you should just work through it, or you should just suppress it. How's that going? Because then it builds and builds and builds, and then one day you snap. True or false? And by the way, I'm not throwing stones at your parents. Your parents were amazing people. And in order to liberate yourself, you need to have some compassion. Someone say compassion. Because would you agree that your parents did the best they could with what they knew in their conditioning? Give that a round of applause. But your brain is always trying to prove your beliefs right, so you better have some good beliefs. Right? I was sitting with Mike Tyson in Vegas, and he said, Nick, God never made a man that could beat me. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to fight. You're freaking me out, Mike. Relax. But Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson because he has a specific set of beliefs. It's the same reason why you can have 86,000 agents and give them the same book of business and only a few will succeed. Because those that succeed have a different set of what? Beliefs in psychology. True or false? True. So what I want to do in this next exercise, are you getting value so far? Make some noise. You're getting value so far? All right. So emotional integrity, I want you to lean into it. And by the way, during this session, I may say things that piss you off. Good. I may say things that make you insecure, that make you feel weak, whatever it may be. If I make you feel a specific way, write it down because there's work that needs to be done. True or false? True. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to walk you through one of the most powerful processes that my mentor took me through that allows you to identify where you live emotionally and how you're showing up in the world. Now, by the way, the truth will set you what? Free. So lean into this. This is for you, right? And I'm going to ask you a series of questions. That's all I'm going to do. We're going to throw in some music, and I'm going to ask you some serious questions, and I just want you to sit there, and I want you to really dive deep, right? This is the internal work. Internal work. Most people do not do this work, and that's why they stay in the same place. There's a reason why a man with no legs and one arm does more than people who have all their limbs. It's because I do the work and I have the specific psychology. Who's up for doing the work? Say yes. Yes. Awesome. First question I want to ask you, and by the way, understanding that there's two emotional states. How many emotional states? Two. You have your beautiful states and you have your suffering states. I got the best mentor in the world. Changed my life. And if I can give back gifts, I'm going to do so. Your beautiful states are all the emotions that you like to feel on a day-to-day basis. What are some emotions that you like to feel? Shout them out. Love. Happiness. She's on a roll. Come on. Peace. Gratitude.
Kindness.
Joy. Happiness. Security. Success. Fulfillment. Joy. Peace. Confident, certain, all the emotions that we want to feel. They say, has a man with no legs and one arm so happy I trained myself? You can do it too. Now your suffering states are all the emotions that you don't like to feel. What are some emotions that you don't like to feel? Anger. Depression, anger, fear, sadness, pain, insecurity, uncertain, fear, all these, right? These are all emotions that we don't like to feel. Rejection, fear of not being loved, fear of not being wanted. So I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to throw in different emotions. I want you to be honest with yourself. I'm not going to ask you for the questions. I'm not going to have you stand up at intervention here. Don't worry, you're safe. How often do I experience the emotion of anger? Is it once a year? Is it once a month? Is it once a week? Is it once a day? Is it all day? How often do I feel the emotion of insecurity? Is it once a year? Is it once a month? Is it once a week? Is it once a day? Multiple times a day? How many times do I experience the emotion of fear? Is it once a year? Is it once a month? Is it once a week? Is it once a day? Multiple times a day. How many times in my life do I experience the emotion of not feeling confident, not feeling beautiful, not feeling certain, not feeling good enough? Is it once a year? Is it once a month? Is it once a week? Once a day? A couple times a day? All day? Consumed? Now by this point, you've identified a suffering emotion that you feel a lot. Show of hands if you've identified one. I appreciate you playing full out. How many of you, your emotional home or where you live a lot is anger? Put them up high. Thank you. How many of you is sadness? Fear. Look around at your family. This is your family. We're doing the work. Insecurity. Look at the room. These are your brothers and sisters. Second question. And before I share this question, I'm going to share why I share this question. There was a guy who was walking down the street. And there was a dog crying. He was chained up on the porch. The dog was crying and crying and crying. The guy's like, what's wrong with this dog? And he walks to work. He works his 8-hour shift. He walks back home at night. The dog is still there crying. He's like, this is so weird. And so he goes to sleep. He wakes up the next morning. He walks that same route to work. And he sees the dog out there with the owner. He goes up to the owner. He says, Mister, your dog has been crying for like 24 hours. What's wrong with him? He said, he's sitting on a nail. Sitting on a nail. Why does he get up? He said, I guess it just don't hurt that bad. Humans don't change unless we experience some pain or leverage. Someone say leverage. Leverage. Someone say leverage. Leverage. We don't start going to the gym until the doctor says you got diabetes or you're obese. We don't start nurturing the relationship until they want to leave. Second question, who have I hurt because of my suffering state? Who have I hurt because of my anxiety? Who have I hurt because of my stress? Who have I hurt because of my insecurity? There may be names that come to you. You don't need to share them. Just write them down for yourself. We're doing the work. Who have I hurt because of my anger? Who have I hurt because of my stress, my fear, my insecurity, my sadness? Now at this point, how many of us identified that we're not only hurting ourselves? Third question. Why must I commit to ending my suffering? What is it going to give me if I operate more out of a beautiful state? What is it going to give me if I show up happy, joyful, certain, confident, feeling sexy, whatever it may be? Why must I commit to ending these negative states? What is my team going to get? Are your kids getting angry and pissed off, Dad? Or are they getting happy and joyful, Dad? What kind of mom are you bringing home after business? Is it anxiety, insecure mom, or is it confident and the dream chaser mom? Why must I commit to ending these negative states? And I'm not saying that you're not going to feel these emotions anymore, but you can snap out of them quicker. This is the difference between having shitty days versus shitty minutes. I want shitty minutes, not shitty days. Why must I commit to ending my suffering state? My insecurity almost ruined my relationship. My girlfriend's so hot. She's over there somewhere. You want to wave? You want to stand up? Give her a round of applause. Damn, some other girl stood up and she took her place. There you go. They're like, Nick, she likes you for your money. I'm like, no, it's the handicap parking. I'm just kidding. Love you. But once I've identified that I was living in insecurity, I can strip power away from it. I can identify the things that I was doing, the visions that I was casting, the way that I was showing up, and I can unwire and rewire because I'm aware of it. How many of you have identified an emotion that you're not so okay with and you're going to do some work to change it? Make some noise. Make some noise. Good. So what I would like to do now, is it okay if I bless you, if I take us through a blessing? Is that okay? I was going to do it anyway. I'm drunk with power up here. It's the tallest I've ever been in my life. Taking advantage. So what we're going to do, and listen, that's powerful stuff. This is the work that most people don't do. How many of you agree just that exercise could change your relationships? Make some noise for relationships. Yeah. What about changing the way that you show up for your kids? Who's up for that? Make some noise. How about is anyone here going to be the person in their bloodline that changes it for the whole lineage? Can we make some noise on that? Who's going to break generational curses? Who's going to be the first made millionaire in the family? Make some noise! Listen, there comes a time in the lineage, in the bloodline, where someone steps up. Someone say step up. There comes a time when someone steps up in the bloodline. And I'm telling you, if you don't step up, it's going to be another 80, 90 years before someone in the bloodline does. Who's up for stepping up for their bloodline? So what we're going to do here, I know I took you through this emotional roller coaster. You're like, I don't really know if I like this guy. Anyway, I'm going to put you through a blessing. And remember emotional integrity. If you feel a specific emotion, I want you to lean into it. I want you to what? Lean into it. Feel it. Listen. Get the money, get the houses, get the watches. But ultimately, you want how it's going to make you what? Feel. I want money. I want you to have money as well. But I also want you to feel specific emotions so you can be happy. You can be fulfilled. You can show up better for your family and yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw on some more music. I'm going to take you through this blessing. And what we're going to do, shake your bodies out, shake your bodies out. I want you to notice your anxiety and stress. Where is it? Is it lower? The reason being is because the emotion of gratitude outweighs all the negative emotions. It is emotionally impossible for you to feel grateful and sad, grateful and angry, grateful and insecure at the same time. But this is a muscle. Someone say muscle. Muscle. And if you didn't feel anything, maybe we need to go there more. We need to feel more. That's totally okay. There's no right or wrong way to do it. How many of you got a great gift out of that? Just make some noise on that one. How many of you are like, what did I get myself into then? Anyone? Yeah, some hands went up. I like it. I see him over there. Right? So what I would like to do, if you're okay with it, is how many of you would like to just have that exercise if I just gave it to you? Is that okay? Is that okay? All right, what we're going to do, the only time that I want you to pull out your phones, pull out your phones. We're going to throw it up for real quickly. It's going to be like 40. Oh, there you threw it. It's a QR code. And so you'll get my free blessing. And then also just daily motivation. If you want to be a part of the stuff that I'm doing, I thank EXP for allowing me to be into your life and give you a gift. And so Scan the QR code. We're gonna do 30 seconds. Me and the big guy. Put your phones down if you would, if you're okay with that. I know it's tough. Phones down. Like, it must be good if he's telling us to put our phones down. I want you to close your eyes. We're gonna start off with 6 deep breaths. I'm gonna talk you through the deep breaths. See what I did there? Eyes down. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 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 Now make this last deep breath your deepest breath in. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I want you to put your hands on your heart. I want you to breathe deep into your heart. Your Creator gave you that heart. You didn't have to work for it, it was a gift. Life's a gift. I want you to go to a moment in your life. A moment in your life that you can feel extremely grateful for. It could be a big moment. It could be a small moment. But a moment for you that you can feel extremely grateful for. I want you to see what you saw. Hear what you heard. And feel what you felt. Feeling so grateful for that moment. That's it. That's it. That's your moment. Don't let it go. Feel it. Birth of a child. Vacation. Feel that moment. Breathe that moment into your heart. This is your moment. That's it. Good. Let's go to another moment. Go to a moment in your life that you can feel proud. Moment for you when you felt so proud of yourself. It could be a big moment, a small moment, but a moment for you that you can feel so proud of. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. Feel what you felt, feeling so proud of yourself. That's it. Feel it. Feel it. You're doing great. Lean into it. That's it. Your third moment is a moment where you felt that you were at the right place at the right time. A moment that was coincidental. coincidental? Or did your Creator guide you? See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt of being at the right place at the right time. What a gift. Feel it. That's it. Now I want you to fly back in time to your younger self. There was an age that popped into your head. 5, 7, 9. I want you to go visit your younger self. See that little boy. See that little girl. Is there any wisdom or knowledge that little boy or little girl can give you? Ask them for something. Is there any knowledge or advice? See her. See him. They've been waiting for you. It's been a long time. That's it. That's it. Now I want you to feed that little boy or little girl that with all that you've accomplished. Show them all that you've done in your life. They've been waiting for you. Feed them with all your accomplishments, everything that you made in life. Feed them till they're full. That little boy or little girl just wanted to be seen, heard, loved. Look how far you came. You had it all. That's it. Say farewell. Give them a big hug. A kiss. See you later, not goodbye. And at your own pace, bring your attention back to Baby Yoda on your own time. Assisted Buddha you can have is a mindset, it's your psychology. Now, does the training stop? Does the training stop? No. Training never stops. So constantly be a student of the game. And I'll leave you here with this. The last little pattern is a lot of the times humans get wrapped up in this pattern of saying, I have to. I have to go to the gym. I have to make more calls. I have to do more recruiting. When in reality, all the things that you have to do are actually privileges. And you get to do those things. Even me, a man with no legs of an arm, knows that there's millions of kids and adults that are confined in wheelchairs and hospital beds that will give up everything and anything just to trade places with me. How dare me not take advantage of this human experience my Creator gave me? So when you shift your have-tos to your get-tos, your life will change in that moment. But also understanding that knowledge will only change the situation with implementation. I'm Nick Santonastasso. Thank you so much.